It's amazing. It is humbling. It is overwhelming looking at the life of a child that becomes promiscuous, violent, aggressive, bully, and we sit down to judge that child and conclude, oh, this is the black sheep in the family. There are no black sheep anywhere. You made them one as parents. I know your parent did the same thing to you. And this is my school of thought. Stop the flow. Whatever is passed down to you, don't pass it down to your children. I'm sure her dad must have had an experience of being not the favored child, or probably he failed or something happened and the father just focused on one, and he saw the dad focus on a child that looked good and looked like an achiever or a star in the family and dump others. Probably was a victim of that error. Who knows? Until the people come into therapy and counseling, we don't know where they were dropped. We don't know what happened to them. We don't know where they got to where they are until they begin to vent out and belch out their stories and talk about their pains. Yes, the guest in the house, apart from my guest, no name, no face, no identity, this is you. How did you feel when she was saying those things that her dad was doing to her with her siblings, making her feel lesser than a human being, passing it down? You know, it's not only in the house that this happens. The teacher in school, everybody noticed that. How are you feeling? How is it? Just say something. This is another young person. There's another. This is another young person. There's another teenager. I mean, a young adult too. How old are you? 16. It's even good. How old are you? 21. Look at. Just picture yourself in this age and you are going through that.
I cannot imagine myself in that kind of situation, because the like stigmatization, everything is just so. I cannot just imagine myself.
Now looking at the kind of feelings, we should be able to be bold. We should be able to talk out. We should be able to mix properly. What kind of, have you seen children like that they're just like acting funny, strange, low grades in class, people talk them down? With what she has said, do you think this kind of experience she had would have affected her social relationship?
Yes, some children they can commit suicide because of what just happened. I was just imagining, if it was not happening to my enemy, can commit suicide. Because you are an introvert. Yeah. I'm not really like an introvert, but what she just said, it can make the child commit suicide because of what she just said.
Wow. Can you imagine? Though she says she's not an introvert, but I will tell you that she's an introvert. For you to think going through that, the next thing is suicide. You could be introverted. You know, nobody is 100% introverted. Nobody is 100% extroverted. We have shades of temperament. You could be 60, 40, 20. So for her to have thought of being suicidal, it means that she has a little bit of thinking traits. I'm using that to teach. I use everything to teach. Because sometimes when a thing happened to someone and you put yourself in that person's shoes and you just say, if this happened to me, I will kill myself. There's a part of you that retrospects, that puts you in a place of, my heart can't take it. But you know, some, they will go through wars and they will bounce back. They will stand out. They won't even think of killing themselves because of their temperament. That is what I'm saying. When you are parenting your kids, your child feels things differently. Some, you shout at them, they just laugh and go and yell. Some, they will think about it, analyze it until they are paralyzed. She said if she was the one, her enemy would have just thought of ending it. Look at that 6-year-old child that the mother was twerking and they were mocking her, and before she knew it, she took her life. That is a temperament. If you are raising kids, know your child. If you don't know them, you will not be able to help them. You will not be able to listen to them. You will not be able to understand them. Your children are institutions. Study them. I'm not talking about married now. Your kids, as you have them in your hand, and they say congratulations, a boy or a girl, the next thing you are looking forward to is, who is my daughter, who is my son? If this daddy had understood, or her dad had understood who she was or who she is, probably they would have maximized her potential and make her great. Welcome again, my guest. You know, somebody asked a question about your performance academically. Were you able to survive? Were you able to pass that exam? Were you able to become, your daddy's unexpected dreams? Because I wouldn't say your daddy's dreams, but he wasn't expecting anything. Were you able to do anything with your life in the area of academics to be able to, at least, you said I can't make it, I made it, or you said I can't make it, I don't want to make it, whatever. Please, can you give me a feedback on your result as far as that examination is concerned?
Okay. Common entrance exam. I did not even prepare for the exam. There was nothing for me to prepare for at that time, because not only I know my mom tried, because she raised the money. She later raised the money for me to common entrance, but then she was more like my dad. They're like the same, but just that my mom, maybe because of how I work at home, so that made her to pay. That was what made her to pay for me. But then my mom.
So you are good in house chores than your sister. It's like Esau and Jacob. One will be in the kitchen and be cooking for the mom and helping mom to do house chores. The other one will go hunting. So you just became a favorite in code because this child at least helps me at home. Parents, you need to hear that. You don't show favoritism because a child is better than the other. No child is better than the other. As a matter of fact, the child that is not good in this can be good in something else. Look at the value and the virtues that your kids are producing. Magnify their strength and play down their weakness. I think I have to say that again. Magnify their strength and play down their weaknesses. That is how to raise children that will make you proud in the future. Yes, go ahead.
So my mom will always be like, if you like, fail. If you like, pass. I just know that I've paid for you, just so you won't be telling people your mom and dad did not pay. So at that time, I was feeling, why not just fail? That was the only thought in my head then. I just said, nobody even bothered to ask me anything, because that time too, it was not only the aspect of, some area brothers then also make attempts, and it's not as if anybody ever bothered to ask me anything about myself. So that just, like, with everything that has been happening to me before, so just like, why will I make them proud? So since they've decided that my sister was the best, why not just prove it to them that she was better? So when the time for the exam came, when the result came out, my result was poor. So that proved my dad right, that my sister was brighter, like she was better. So he decided to send her to one of the best schools. The school he sent her to, my dad said something. He said he can never send us to a school where you have to be paying fare every time. But when it got to my sister's turn, like my elder sister had to attend a government school, then he just sent my sister to another school. Although it was a government school, but the school was more reputable, like it was a better school. So he just sent my sister there. I don't know. I think he also had some issues with my sister. Like he believed my younger sister was better than the rest of us. So he sent her to the school and me to another school. So while in the other school, the other school I went to actually, I was trying. I just said, okay, instead of me trying to fail every time just to make them feel like my younger sister was better, I think it was because I started watching some movies, and I was seeing how things were in some of those movies. So I just decided that if I commit suicide, that would be better. Actually, when she said she would have killed herself, I made an attempt, because I actually hung myself. I hung myself when nobody was around. Well, my siblings were around, so my sister had to run to one of my neighbors to like shout that my sister is dying. She hung herself, that she wants to kill herself. That was when the man came, and he was so surprised. Nobody believed that was happening to me, because then I became someone that talked too much. Like, I talk a lot. I talk non-stop. I can just continue talking. That's because whenever I stop talking, if I stop talking, I feel sad. So whenever I start talking, I don't stop, because if I stop, I start thinking. I think a lot, so I don't talk. I don't stop talking. I kept talking every time. So people used to see me as a talkative. People say, everybody will be like, she talks a lot. So when my neighbor actually saw that, he was like, what could have happened to me that have made such attempt to kill myself? Like,
wow. We'll come back. But let me drop this before we leave this episode. Whatever you do to your kids, you are the person, you are the entrance, you are the pilot, you are the captain. You're going to be accountable. If she had killed herself, you would have been accountable for her death. All in the name of carelessness, insensitivity, not being able to understand your child is error that calls for serious attention. If you are listening to me and you are parenting, especially these days that the vices are much more than the virtues that flies everywhere, please be intentional in raising your kids, or else you will lose them. Not only that, when I say lose them, some people think, they will die. No, they might be alive and make you miserable. You know how many kids that are out there that are miserable, and the parents are wondering, what happened? How did I get it wrong? You got it wrong because you were not careful when they were growing. The first few years of your child's formative time is extremely important. Every moment, every second, every minute counts when they are being formed. Because the moment they are formed, it's going to be like a dry fish that is difficult to bend. If you are in a situation where you don't even know what to do with your kids, you are really stuck because of what you're seeing, by the product of what you have done, seek intervention. Let me help you to help your kids. One thing is sure, if you don't take care of them now, and you don't restore those children that are giving you headache, at the end of the day, your old age will be questionable. And that's the truth. You can't harvest where you have not sown. Imagine if she had committed suicide and the other ones get married wrongly or things happened. She will now say, I wasted everything. And you don't even know a child that will be with you as your sickbed. She might be the child that will now nurture the father and just be doing it as a duty, not a delight. I appreciate you for watching this episode. We'll be right back with my guest. We have not finished. I'm coming back. Thank you for listening and watching.